Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, I will present my article entitled Validity of Program for International Student Assessment Equivalent Mathematics Question Based on Quantity Content. The author, Yuna, Annisa, Rizal, Rina Zubainur, and Rizal. I from Master of Mathematics Education Study, Universitas Syekh Kuala Banda Aceh. Next, introduction. The background my article is the Indonesian education curriculum emphasizes that learning mathematics today is expected to shape good attitude in students that are logical, critical, analytical, careful, true, responsible, responsive, and not easily give up in solving problems. But in reality, this can be sent from the result of program for international student assessment in 2018, which placed Indonesia in the position of 72 out of 77 participant countries. The problem is one of the cases of Indonesia law program for international student assessment result is the lack of accustoming students to work on equivalent question about program for international student assessment problem. The solution, validity of program for international student assessment equivalent mathematics question based on quantity content. Research purpose is, the purpose of this study is to develop mathematical problem equivalent to program for international student assessment based on quantity content for level 4 that are valid. Next, research method. Type of research, development research. The development model implement is the Tesner model. The criteria measure are limited to valid criteria. Measurement of the validity of the question developed was done by involving expert review, which is the stage of expert review of the Tesner model. The expert review stage involves 4 experts. Valid criteria in research are determined based on event theory. The criterion is that the question developed are said to be valid if 3 of the 4 validators said that the questions are in accordance with the domain and level of program for international student assessment question. Next, research result. Descriptive assessment result of the 4 expert review on construction aspect, namely for image to be clear so as to use coloring. The image show must relate the problem present to that image are not separate from the problem. Rating is very consistent. Rating is in accordance with IYD, language very communicative and contextual if related to other scientific contexts. For example, physics, then it must also be review whether the material has been studied or not in junior high school. Descriptive assessment result from the 4 expert review of aspect of language, namely adjusting the language of question with the age level of student. Pay attention to language of question to be relevant, and the language of the problem is communicative. Descriptive assessment result from the four expert review of the content aspect, which are in accordance with the topic on program for international student assessment, are in accordance with level 4 on program for international student assessment, according to the content quantity at program for international student assessment, according to the contact on program for international student assessment, according to the process on program for international student assessment, according to the 2013 curriculum. The questions are contextual and are in accordance with the level of student education. The recommendation of the four expert review state that the questions developed are valid and can be used with a view revision. Based on the recommendation of the four expert review above, it can be decided that the suitability of the question with aspect of the assessment of contraction, language, and content meet the validity requirement. Next, conclusion is the program for international student assessment equivalent made problem based on the content quantity for level 4 meets the valid criteria with aspect of the contraction, language, and content assessment of the 4 expert review. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.